Welcome to Make It Jamaica. I'm Sherry from Maywee Villa in Discovery Bay, Jamaica, where we help families and groups plan meaningful villa vacations. Today's episode is based on our blog post, How to Fill Out the C5 Form, the Jamaica Immigration Form, Common Mistakes to Avoid. Today, I'm going to answer most of the questions that we get asked from the hundreds of people who contact us every year about filling out the C5 form. We're delighted to help, but we must confess that we're merely helpful souls who happen to have written what seems to be the definitive article on the topic. We're in no way linked to Jamaican immigration or customs service. So what is the C5 form for Jamaica? It's the official online immigration and customs declaration form that's required for all travelers entering Jamaica. It's sometimes referred to as the Jamaica Immigration Form or the Jamaica Entry Form. It must be completed before you go through immigration on arrival. Why is this form required? Well, like every country, Jamaica requires arriving passengers to complete an immigration and customs form as part of its border control and national security procedures. The C5 form allows immigration and customs officials to verify identity, confirm travel details, and review any goods being brought into the country. Does each person need a C5 form? Yes. The form is required of all arriving passengers, regardless of age, and there are no exceptions to this rule. So, where can you find the C5 form? It's online, and to access the form, you go to the website enterjamaica.gov.jm. This is the only authorized website to access and complete the Jamaica entry form. The site is sometimes referred to as the Enter Jamaica site or enterjamaica.com site because that was the old URL for the site. How much does this C5 form cost? There is no cost whatsoever to either access the form, complete the form, or submit the form. There's no application fee, there's no processing fee. The C5 form is 100% free. Any website that's charging a fee to complete the form is not an official government site. There have been reports of companies online charging a fee for the service. It's a scam. There's no fee associated with the Jamaica entry form. I can't stress that enough. Is there a separate customs form to fill out? No, there's no separate customs form. There's only one form required for entry to Jamaica. The customs declaration and the immigration form are combined into a single C5 Jamaica form. On the physical form, the immigration form is on the front and the customs form is on the back. When should you fill out the C5 form? When should you complete it? You may complete the form online up to 30 days before arrival. It must be completed before you go through immigration. If you didn't complete the C5 form before landing in Jamaica, there are computer stations where this can be done before you actually get to immigration. Again, every traveler, regardless of age, must have their own completed C5 form. We're often asked if you'll still have to complete a physical form on arrival if you completed it online. Well, barring technical difficulties, there should be no need to do both. Let's say you didn't complete the C5 form prior to landing. Will you be denied entry? No, no worries. The airport has free Wi-Fi available so that the form can be completed after you land, either before you get to an immigration officer or before you get to the kiosks. If the Wi-Fi fails, don't worry. Again, the agents will be there to help you to complete the form online or have you complete a physical form. To fill out the form, you will need a valid email address, your passport, your flight information, that's the airline or vessel um, number, name, I should say, as well as the flight number, the departure port, which is the last foreign port from which you left to come to Jamaica. So let's say, for instance, you were flying from Chicago, but you changed planes in Atlanta and then you arrived in Montego Bay. The departure port would be Atlanta, not Chicago. You also need the address where you will be staying in Jamaica, and you also need your dates of travel. Again, each person needs their own form. How long will it take to complete the online form? Well, once you have all the information that you need to complete the form, it should take you about 5 minutes to complete. How do you use the enterjamaica.com.gov.jm site? Well, you go to the website, and unfortunately, there are no instructions. There's simply a request for a valid email address. It's legit. That's just how the website is. Once you provide the email address and hit submit, a code will be emailed to you. You need to enter this code on the website, and then the actual form will appear. To get the step-by-step guide to filling out the form, check out the blog post that we have. The link is in the description. The top errors that people make are simple data entry errors. The form is actually easy to complete, but accuracy is really critical. The most common mistakes are misspelling your name, entering an incorrect passport number, using the American date format instead of the Jamaican format, which is day, month, and year, entering the wrong port from which you're arriving, incorrect flight number, and forgetting to complete a form for a baby. Even small mistakes can cause delays. If the information on your C5 form doesn't exactly match your passport, you may not be able to use the electronic immigration gates on arrival. Instead, you will need to stand in line for manual processing by an immigration officer. So take a few extra minutes to review your information so you can save significant time at the airport. Immigration delays are almost always caused by small errors on the form. A correctly completed C5 form means less time in line and more time enjoying your vacation. Pay close attention to the way you write the date on the form. Jamaica uses day, month, then year. So for example, November 23rd, 2026 would be written 23/11/2026. Using the US format is one of the most common mistakes. Suppose you made an error on the C5 form. Can you change it? Well, there's no way to change it online except to resubmit it. The confirmation email that they send says to return to the portal and resubmit your information. Incorrect data will result in delayed processing at immigration and customs. If you want to skip the lines at the airport, then you might want to consider Club Mobay. During peak hours, immigration lines can exceed 60 to 90 minutes. Completing the form online does help to prevent delays, but it doesn't always eliminate waiting during busy periods. So if you want to skip the long immigration and customs lines altogether, consider using the VIP airport service known as Club Mobay. It includes fast track through immigration and customs, a private lounge with free food, as well as assistance on arrival. You might want to consider it if you are traveling with children, traveling with elderly parents, land at peak times, so that's between midday and about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, or if you just want the smoothest possible arrival. Many travelers ask whether Club Mobay is worth it, and we've actually written an article on that. It's called How to Decide If Club Mobay Jamaica is worth the price. The link will be in the show notes. Other questions that we often get asked: is the C5 form required to exit Jamaica? No, the C5 form is only required when entering Jamaica. You do not need to complete a C5 form when leaving the country. Can I just fill out one form for the entire family? No, a C5 form must be completed for each person entering Jamaica, regardless of age. I've been to Jamaica recently. Do I need a new C5 form? You need a new C5 form for each trip to Jamaica. What if the website isn't working? Sometimes the website isn't working. It happens. Just wait a while and try again. So when you complete the C5 form, fill it out carefully, land in Jamaica, walk through smoothly, enjoy Jamaica. For more Jamaica travel tips, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. I hope this clarified some of your questions about filling out the C5 form and about the common mistakes to avoid. If you want more in-depth assistance with filling out the immigration form, check out the post on our blog at makeitjamaica.com/blog. The link to the article is in the show notes. And if you're considering a stay at Maywe Villa, we're always happy to answer questions and help you think it through. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.